Now, as you are familiar with the FriendStorage application and its code, we can have a look at the challenges with POCOs. So let's look first at the model of the FriendStorage application. Here in the model assembly, we have the friend class. This is the main class we are going to wrap. The friend class has an ID property, a friend group ID property that is like a foreign key to a group. It has a first name property, a last name property, birthday property, and an isDeveloper flag. So all those properties are simple properties. Then the friend class has in addition the complex property of type address. An address has again an ID, city, street, and street number. Beside that complex address property, the friend has also an emails property that is of type list and it contains friend emails. The friend email has an ID, an email string, and a comment. So the friend class is the model that is used in the FriendStorage application. The friend group class that you see here has just an ID and a name. It's only used to fill a combo box to select the friend group of a friend. In the UI, you have learned that the friend edit view is the control that is used for the content of a tab page. The view model for this control has a load method. We have seen that one in the previous clip. And we have seen when the passed-in friend ID has a value, the friend with this ID is loaded by using the data provider. If the ID doesn't have a value, we just create a new friend object. So the friend we are receiving is stored in the friend property of this friend edit view model. When we go back to the view, you see that all the controls in this view, they are binding to that friend model and are grabbing the properties of this friend model. Okay, now let's look at the typical challenges, change notification, change tracking, and validation that we have with this friend model. Let's start with change notification. So when I change here my first name, you notice that the tab header is reflecting the changes. But how can this work? The friend class does not implement iNotify property changed. The reason is WPF is quite smart. It finds the same bindings in the UI and so they are automatically synchronized. But as soon as I would set this first name property from the view model itself, the data binding won't be notified and the changes won't appear in the UI. So I have one sample where I modify the friend object in the friend edit view model directly. And this is when we add a new email. So let's add an email. I already clicked the button, but nothing happened. Let's save this friend. Let's close it and let's open it again. Now you can see here is a second row. So I can enter now a second email. So let's save this. Let's close it again and let's see if it has been saved. Yeah, the second email is here. Now I remove it again. And you see the email stays here. Let's save. It's still here. I close it and open up it again. And now you see, now it's gone. So the reason why this happens is because in our friend model, the emails property is of type list. List does not implement the interface iNotify collection changed. So this property should be a collection that implements that interface, like for example the observable collection does. Okay, so far a problem with change notification. Now let's look at the problems with change tracking. You see the save button is enabled, but I haven't made any changes to this friend. Now let's remove my second name here. And now I don't know anymore when I look at the screen if I have made changes or not. So usually I think I will be asked when I close the tab. But as the application has no information if the friend object has been changed or not, it will just close the tab. And when I open up the friend again, you see the second name is back again. Okay, so the save button and asking for changes is one problem. Another problem is, if I have changes like this, I'd like to see the changes that I've made. For example, this first name field could have a different background color. And in addition, we could display the original value in the tooltip. As you also see, this UI has a reset button. The intention of that reset button is to reset the friend object to its original state. For sure, we could just reload the whole object to do a reset. But with the change tracking, we could do it all in memory when we know all the original values. Okay, now we have seen the problems with change notification and change tracking. Now let's look at validation. So let's remove the first name and let's remove the last name. Now I just save this friend. And I close the tab. Now I think you and me, we are the only persons who know that this is Thomas Claudius Huber. So I think it would be a good idea to have at least some validation that the first name is required. So let's add back my name here. Alright, so in this demonstration you have seen the challenges with POCOs in the FriendStorage application. We will master those challenges in the next modules of this course. But before we do this, let's look at the options we have to master POCOs in MVVM applications.